Hello, I'm Sean from Booksource, the company that created Booksource Classroom. I will be your guide through a series of videos to help you better understand Booksource Classroom and its many features. In this video, we're going to talk about the AutoQuarantine feature. So, right now I'm on my library, and let's say a student checks out a book, and then let's say they check it back in. Currently, or previously I should say, when a student checked a book back in, it would automatically appear as available to other students in your library. Now, we heard from many of you, and a lot of you are automatically doing quarantines already on your own in your classroom, especially with the rise of COVID-19 and all the precautions that came with it. So we built some features that made that automatic. So let me show you what those features are. Whenever you go to checkouts and returns under the library page, you're going to see two new columns. One is quarantine and one is needs putback. Now, what's unique about this is previously, if a book was checked out and you said you wanted to put the book back into your library, it would automatically appear to all your students. What we've done is we've added a new column called quarantine. Whenever you say, I want to move a checkout book and return it, it's automatically going to put it into the proper column. In this case, since I have quarantine enabled, it puts it into quarantine. It says here I have 5 days left. As time goes on, that counter will reduce and the progress bar will increase until after the quarantine is up, and then they will be moved over automatically into a different column called Needs Putback. So the reason for Needs Putback is this book is out of quarantine, but it's not necessarily ready to be put back for students that are in the classroom. This is a physical book, and you actually need to physically move it from quarantine back onto the shelf. So you can say, once a book is back on the shelf, you can go ahead and click on this icon here, and it's going to say, okay, that book is now ready for everyone to check out. And that will also show that book to all the students in their student portal. You can also print the list of books that need put back in case you want to carry it with you with all your books. And it will tell you exactly where those books belong based on the locations that you have entered into Booksource Classroom. Now, both of these options are completely optional. You don't have to use quarantine if you do not want to. You also do not have to use needs putback. However, whenever you do use quarantine, it requires that you have a needs putback list enabled. And that's just out of the nature of these are physical books that are in physical quarantine, and you need to know, and we need to know, when those books are actually back on the shelf. So you can also manage the quarantine features easily. Let's go to Settings. Under Settings, let's go to Enable and Disable Preferences. So, in addition to all the other settings that are here, if we scroll down, right here under Returning Books, we can see Force Manual Putback of Books. So as it says, if enabled, when students return books, they will not appear available again until you mark them as put back. And what we mean by that is put back on the shelf. And you also have an option for enabling automatic quarantine for books. You can choose, again, to have Force Manual Putback enabled, but not automatic quarantine, but not the other way around. If you are to enable automatic quarantine, you have to have a putback enabled. Quarantine is already set automatically for 5 days, but you can change it from anything from 1 day up to 3 weeks. It's totally up to you. This is totally customizable, and we really hope that it'll help your classroom throughout the school year, and especially with any other remote learning opportunities that your school may enact. So, thank you for taking the time to learn more about Booksource Classroom. Be sure to check out the other helpful videos that we have on this channel.